In 2025, the United States looks very different for immigrants, especially those who entered the country illegally. With Donald Trump back in the White House, strict enforcement policies are now being implemented across the country. Immigration raids have intensified, asylum rules have been restricted, and undocumented immigrants are facing more risks than ever before. But here's the big question. If you entered the U.S. illegally, whether by crossing the border without inspection or overstaying your visa, can you still become a legal immigrant under the Trump administration in 2025? While the answer is complex, there are a few limited pathways that remain open, although the odds are harder and the risks are greater. Let's first address the reality of what's happening under Trump's second term. This administration has drastically increased deportation efforts. ICE and Border Patrol agents have been given expanded powers. They're arresting undocumented individuals not only at the border, but inside workplaces, in homes, schools, and even hospitals. Trump's executive orders now require all undocumented immigrants to register with DHS and carry proof of identity at all times. Failure to do so could result in up to 6 months of jail time and heavy fines. And for many people, that's just the beginning. Trump has also introduced a policy that treats simply being in the U.S. without proper papers as a federal misdemeanor. That means if you're caught living here illegally, even if you've been peaceful, working, and paying taxes, you could be prosecuted, imprisoned, and barred from applying for any kind of legal status in the future. This is part of what he calls a zero-tolerance approach. So what legal options still exist for people who are undocumented in 2025? One of the most well-known pathways is through marriage to a U.S. citizen. In theory, marrying a citizen allows you to apply for a green card. But here's the problem. If you entered the U.S. illegally, you can't complete the entire process while staying in the country. You'll likely need to leave and apply from your home country. And if you've been unlawfully present in the U.S. for more than 180 days, the moment you leave, you trigger a ban of 3 to 10 years. You can apply for a waiver, but under Trump's administration, those waivers are extremely difficult to get approved. You must prove that your U.S. citizen spouse would face extreme hardship without you. Not emotional hardship, but financial or medical hardship. Even then, approval is not guaranteed. Another option people consider is asylum. If you fear persecution in your home country based on religion, race, political beliefs, or sexual orientation, you might try to seek protection through the asylum system. However, asylum laws have been heavily restricted under Trump. The 1-year filing deadline is strictly enforced, and if you traveled through a third country and didn't apply for asylum there first, your case could be denied immediately. Also, fast-tracked asylum courts now give applicants very little time to prepare. Winning an asylum case in 2025 is much harder than it was before. Now, what about those who had protection under programs like DACA or TPS? Unfortunately, DACA has been officially ended. Dreamers, those who came to the U.S. as children, are now at risk of deportation. TPS, or Temporary Protected Status, has been removed for most countries. That means thousands of people who once had legal protection now find themselves undocumented again. Some people wonder if they can get sponsored by an employer. In rare cases, yes, but most undocumented immigrants won't qualify. Trump's administration has penalized companies for hiring workers without papers. As a result, few employers are willing to risk legal trouble to sponsor someone, and even if they wanted to, you would have to leave the U.S. to process your visa, which again can trigger long-term bans because of your unlawful presence. In early 2025, Trump floated a new idea called the Self-Deport and Return program. The concept is this: if you voluntarily leave the U.S., you might be able to return later with legal papers through employer sponsorship. Some incentives include assistance with travel costs or even a temporary visa. But the catch is enormous. Leaving the U.S. triggers automatic re-entry bars. There's no promise you'll be approved to come back. Many experts warn this is just a way to clear undocumented people from the U.S. without offering a real way back in. There's also a proposed program known as the Gold Card, or Patriot Visa. It's basically an elite immigration option for wealthy individuals. If you invest at least $5 million into the U.S. economy, you could potentially qualify for permanent residency. But again, this is only available to a tiny fraction of people. It hasn't passed Congress yet, and even if it does, it's out of reach for most undocumented workers. So if you're living in the U.S. without legal status, what should you do? Number 1. Get professional legal help. Immigration law is extremely complicated, and the policies are changing all the time. Don't rely on advice from social media, friends, or rumors. A licensed immigration attorney can review your case and help you understand if there's a path available to you. Many nonprofit organizations also provide free or low-cost legal services for immigrants in need. Number 2. Avoid criminal activity. Under the Trump administration, even a minor crime like shoplifting or driving without a license can land you in ICE custody. Keep your record clean. Don't give them a reason to come after you. Number 3. Gather your paperwork. If you've been living in the U.S. for many years, build a file of documents that show your presence here, like pay stubs, tax returns, school enrollment forms for your kids, community involvement, utility bills, and so on. These records can help in any future legalization process or court proceeding. Number 4. Stay updated on policy changes. Immigration rules change quickly. A new court decision or political deal could open up opportunities for legalization. You need to be aware and ready to act fast. Follow reliable sources and keep in touch with your lawyer or advocacy groups. Now, let's be honest. Trump's 2025 immigration plan is not designed to help undocumented immigrants. It's designed to remove them. The number of pathways to legalization has dropped significantly. The bar for waivers and applications has been raised, but that doesn't mean hope is lost forever. U.S. immigration history is full of cycles. Harsh policies are often followed by reform efforts. What feels impossible today might become reality tomorrow. If you're undocumented in America right now, the most important thing you can do is stay prepared. Be smart, be cautious, protect yourself and your family. And when the opportunity comes, whether through policy reform, legal settlement, or court decisions, you'll be ready to take that next step. Because even in the most difficult times, immigrants have always found a way to survive, and many have gone on to thrive. You are not alone, and this fight is far from over.